All right. We are here. Finally, we have a name. This is the first episode that I've ever done where we actually have the name. We're in the throne room with my man, Blossom Reynolds.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't know of the name until now, actually. That's nice.
Yeah. This is an exciting moment.
Yes.
Because all the other ones, they say, unnamed podcast number, whatever. And
yeah. This one, we got a name, folks.
Got a name, folks.
The Throne. Throne Room.
Throne Room.
Yep, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome, man.
Yes. Good stuff.
Stoked for this.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. I'm just going to kick it off.
Yeah.
Blossom Reynolds.
Yes.
Talk to me. How did we get the name Blossom Reynolds?
Blossom Reynolds, the name, I work for a mortgage company, and I saw the name on a file.
Was somebody Blossom Reynolds is a real name?
Yeah, it was sisters. They were Sandra and Blossom Reynolds. And I just saw that name, and I was like, yo, like that's the one. And I didn't even really, like, up until that moment even like have an idea for like a new project or like anything like that. Like I wanted to get back into music, but yeah, I don't know, that like seeing that name just kind of like sparked this whole kind of like vision and moment for me in my brain. I'm like, hold on, you could turn that into something, and that could be really cool. And yeah, literally like 3 days later I recorded my first song.
Man, that's like even crazier than I was expecting. I thought there was going to be like no story behind it or like whatever.
Yeah, no, that actually has like I don't know if it's like a great story, because I feel like some people get bummed when they like realize like I didn't make it up and it was
they're
like
let
somebody
down
else's name. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a sick name. I literally saw that name and I was like, that is nice. I want to use that. And like whatever. I don't know how many Blossom Reynolds there are in the world. She seems like a nice lady. I'm sure she is.
Yeah. Have you ever spoken with her? Like,
no.
She has no idea?
I try to like just look up Blossom Reynolds and like, I don't know if it was like the same one. She was like an older like church going lady. She seemed nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because it was taken on Instagram. There was already like a Blossom Reynolds, and like that's why mine has like a 0 or whatever.
Okay.
Or like Twitter, like either one. I think both of them. I was like, what the fuck? Who else is like Blossom Reynolds? Found her.
Yeah.
Like, damn. But yeah, I guess like, you know, I took the name, so what? Yeah, so what? I did that.
What are you gonna do, Blossom?
Yeah, that was mine.
He's more famous than you.
Yeah. If you want to collab though, hit me up. I would love to collab with the original Blossom Reynolds. That'd be sick. I could get her doing some shit.
You know where she lives?
No.
Apparently, probably.
Yeah. I did
mortgage.
Yeah, I did.
Wink, he doesn't know where you live.
I don't actually. I was literally in the file for 2 seconds. I just had to like check something. But
okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's the story. That's the origin.
That's cool. So did you have? And I guess you said that like, you know, you were looking to get back into music. Were you looking for a name, or this just literally inspired you? Like this name, boom,
literally inspired me on the spot. Like I didn't even like. Yeah, I had no like really. My band broke up like 3 years prior, right, or like 2 years prior, something like that. So I was definitely like needing to like do music again. I was definitely feeling like I'm missing like, yo, what the fuck? I was like depressed. Like I was definitely like felt like something's missing in my life. I need to like get back into music again. So I don't know, something about like that moment, and then I was like really high on an edible.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that triggered it too. I don't even know, man, but I just remember being like so high on this edible and literally like looking at myself in the mirror and like being like, Blossom Reynolds, you're Blossom Reynolds. This is you now. You're gonna be a whole thing, dude. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I was just like talking to myself and hyping myself up. Like, this is your new future. This is it. And like, I don't know. Something about that high off the edible and like the whole new vision and everything really put like a whole thing in my head. I was just like, drop everything you know. This is your life now. And, that was cool, honestly. It was a really cool moment because like literally sometimes I like forget like what I was even like before I had that thought. Like, I don't know. Like, or like what was my aiming, what was I aiming for? What was my goal? I think I was just working.
Who were you before?
Yeah, I was just like kind of working day to day, fucking just doing whatever, not really like, just partying and whatever. I mean, I still do party and whatever, but now, like, you know,
now you do it with purpose.
That's exactly. So I have like a little bit more like goals in mind and things I want to do in my life and like stuff like that. So it was cool to have like that kind of moment of like, no, you have to do music. Like, you're a musician. You've always been a musician. So yeah, that's really cool. So I'm curious, do you feel like, and you kind of maybe answered it already, but I'm curious if asked this other way,
do you feel like you discovered that you were Blossom Reynolds, or do you feel like you got an idea and got inspired to create it? Like, did you almost open up?
That's a good question. Actually.
Does that make sense as a question? Okay.
I don't really know, honestly. I feel like maybe it was like, part of me feels like it was almost like, like a discovering of like myself, you know, like I was like, always something that was like kind of, and even like when it started happening, like a lot of like my friends and like people close to me were all like, no, this is like what you're supposed to do. Like everyone immediately got it. They were just like, this is like you. So like I almost feel like, in that sense, maybe I just kind of like was like discovering a part of myself that like was always there, but I just like finally like really put it to the forefront and like did something with it. So I don't know, I think it is more of like someone that is like myself and less of like something that like I created. I think it's like, you know, a part of myself that maybe I just accentuate more than the rest of myself now, like. But Blossom Reynolds is me. I'm your guy.
That's dope though, because I was curious if you and I it's funny, we're almost hitting so deep right out the gate, but with you saying like, hey, you were kind of depressed, you were like looking for some music, do you feel like you almost like manifested, you were like, the universe was like, okay, you're finally ready, here you go, here's like your path, and like, do you believe in that type of shit or anything, or like...
kind of. I remember one time like talking with one of my coworkers, like talking about like, I think I was saying something along the lines of like, you know, I just wish I would have done this sooner, because like I said, my band broke up like a couple years ago, like before I started that, so I'd be like, damn, like I wish like, you know, I had this idea like, you know, at an earlier time, blah blah blah, this and that. And I remember my coworker, which was just like this older lady that was like very like kind of wise, you know, and she's like, well honey, that wasn't your time.
Fuck, hold on. It's my own thing.
Oh god.
Hold on. Alright, I'll piece it together. It's my... I have to remind my girlfriend to take her birth control pill. Hold on one second.
Look at this guy.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe me too, Peter dinner. Like it was
fucked it up.
I fucked it up.
No, it's okay.
That's fine. Let me make sure that that's not going to go off again, and then we will be okay. I can't believe that shit. At least we know it's 9:13.
Yeah. God, what were we talking about? I guess you can go back and see, huh?
Yeah, we were talking about the old lady that was wise.
Oh, yes.
That was her rep. So let me make sure my shit's about to be off. I can't believe that. Alright. So that's good. Okay. Let's get to video. Alright, audio's still going, right? We didn't touch that?
Yeah. Should be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should be going. Yeah, still going.
Okay.
But anyways,
okay. And we're back.
We're back. We had a
Technical
little
difficulties.
But anyways, like I was saying, so yeah, I was saying like, you know, I wish I would have done this earlier, blah blah blah, and she was like, oh honey, that wasn't your time. Now is your time. That made me like, gave me a lot of like reassurance, like, yeah, you know what, you're right, the universe works in weird ways, and maybe before it wasn't my time, and now I got this spark and idea at the right, you know, the time it was supposed to happen. So yeah, I don't know, I can't remember what the original base of that question was.
I think interestingly enough, that kind of was it, of like, do you feel like you discovered this, or do you feel like it inspired you to create it, and then and I guess believing in like the destiny of and like manifestation of it, and then the wise old woman kind of hit the nail on the head of like, it wasn't your time.
I was doing a lot of manifesting too when I first started this too. Like I was very much like I said, I was talking to myself really high in the mirror when I first started. I was straight up manifesting like the whole thing. I'm like, no, like, you have this is all you, like, you know, I don't know, it was and I still do, like, I don't know, I mean, I'm always like, you know, believing that this could be like, you know, something sick one day, and, but yeah, I I guess, yeah, from the beginning, it was divine intervention in the universe that just popped the idea into my head and the name, and it just, yeah, we wouldn't be here if I did not come across that file. I don't know if I ever would have, I would have probably eventually hopped back into music, but yeah, I don't know under what name or what would have happened. Yeah.
So you, like, straight up you were like, I want to get into music, but I don't really know how to do it, and this was literally just, like, lightning bolt, like...
Yeah, I think, like, I remember, like... Part of me wanted to be, like, kind of getting into hip-hop, because I come from, like, a pop-punk band, right? Mm-hmm. And I've been on, like, you know, on that kind of stuff for sure, but I've always been, like, really into, like, hip-hop and, you know, all kinds of different music, but I was really into that kind of shit for a while. So I kind of wanted to start it off, like, you know, I kind of, like, had, like, ideas of, like, kind of doing that sort of thing, and I was, like, low-key writing songs, but, like, they were all really, really bad. Like, just, like, I never ended up using any of those. Like, looking back, like, I don't even know what I was doing. They were more or less just, like, poems. Like, I was just kind of, like... trying to be creative in some sort of way. And then I remember, like, when I had that idea, I had, like, this whole, like, kind of idea of, like, the character, too, you know, of, like, being, like, this kind of, like, cool pop star rapper type badass dude. Like, when I first started, I had, like, a big influence of, like, Lil Aaron sort of in my head.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
Like, Post Malone. So I was thinking of, like, almost, like, one of those kind of dudes, but, like, you know, on more on, like, the, like, with the band background, you know, and, like, but, like, kind of like a rapper. So if you listen to my first EP, that's kind of like the attitude and like lyrics and shit I'm giving off. But
yeah,
I don't know. Eventually, I can't stop from being emo and pop punk. I really can't. It sucks, dude. I write so many songs and it always just somehow reverts to like my fucking teenage angst and fucking emo and shit. So of course, eventually I start writing the songs that I always write, and that's kind of like how my style has kind of evolved into what it is today. I feel like I just kind of like, not to say that that first EP wasn't like true to myself or anything like that, but like the more I write, the more I feel like I'm being like more like, I don't know, I guess like more like natural and like really like my true feelings and stuff, and I'm not like saying shit. Like my first EP, I was saying like random shit like, I don't know, this cars and money and stuff, and like, but I was looking at that as like manifesting. Like I was saying that shit thinking like, yeah, I don't have that shit now, but I'm gonna have it. Like, yeah. So it's like, whatever. But yeah, I don't really catch myself like saying anything really like that anymore, because I'm just like, I don't know. I like my lyrics more too when I write about like shit that is really going on.
That's actually real. Like you're getting the feelings out.
Yes, exactly. It's much more therapeutic that way. It just feels like more real. And when people really like that stuff, it's so much more like reassuring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just feels like a lot better. Like when they appreciate like good lyrics. That
versus the cars, money type shit.
Exactly.
And oh, that's real cool, but it's not. Yeah. It doesn't feel like they like you.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yeah. So it means a lot when people are like say like my like more, I don't know, I guess you could say like emo or like sentimental lyrics. Like people will like hit me up like, yeah, dude, like I was crying to this or like blah blah blah, and I'm just like, damn, bro, like that's it.
Like,
God, I showed one of my friends. It's already out now. My song "Killing Time." I remember I showed my one friend that in the car, and he just started crying, which is awesome though. I mean, I love him to death, and I was just like, that was such like a cool kind of like reaction to get, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, but I felt bad. He actually just got out of like a breakup recently, so I was like, maybe I shouldn't have played you like.
Yeah, you should have played a different song.
I almost like felt bad. I apologized. I'm like, sorry, but he was like, no, dude, that was great. You're just like a really good songwriter, and I was like, this is cool feedback to like know like evoke that much emotion in you in like the first listen. Like that's like pretty. And
people can relate to that, especially he related to it so heavy that it brought him to tears. Like you know,
and I was like, fuck yeah, like you know, not fuck yeah, making my friends cry. Like I mean, obviously, but like
mission accomplished.
I know. I want to make all my friends fucking ball their eyes out. But no, it is cool. It's cool to, you know, get that kind of feedback and reaction to stuff that like really, you know, resonates with you. And some of my lyrics, you know, like I'd be writing some songs like Killing Time too, like especially in the bridge, like that definitely is a bridge that like really resonates with me, and like a lot of Wear Me Out, like that song, that's like that like really hits home when people say like they really fuck with that song's lyrics. I'm like, good, because me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know how
please just still be working. Like, come on.
We good? But yeah, I don't know how we got over to my lyrics. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I'm glad that you did that you brought that up, because all of this I definitely want to kind of get into. I have one question before I forget. The hair, was it pink prior to Blossom Reynolds, or that came along with Blossom Reynolds?
It came along with it. I remember like but I had that idea, you know, and like I said, I had like that whole like kind of like badass pop star imagery in my head, you know what I mean? And It's funny if you look at like my old, like I have like an old tweet, like I tweeted like a couple months before I even started this project or like anything, where I'm like kind of just really want to dye my hair pink. Like that was always been like an idea in my head. Like I've always wanted to dye my hair pink, at least for like the past like year before I even started the project. I was just like, that would be cool, but I just never like, I don't know.
It's kind of cool. It's like it's bubbling up. Like I want to dye my hair pink. Like I mean, it's
exactly.
That's really sweet.
And then like and then when I did that, like I said, it was like a weird like switch that flipped in my brain, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm dyeing my hair pink. I literally think I dyed my hair pink that weekend. Like I had this idea on like a Tuesday, and then by like Thursday or Friday I recorded my first song, and then like by Saturday I dyed my hair, and then a couple of days later after that I pierced my ears.
Okay, man.
Yeah, I didn't. I was really just fucking going for it. I didn't.
Did you have nose prior to that though?
Yeah, I've had my nose for like 10 years.
Interesting. Nose before ears.
Yeah, this is the first piercing I ever got. I got it when I was like 10th grade or something like that.
Wow, I thought you were gonna say when you were 10.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
No, my dad still doesn't even know I have this. I don't think. I used to always like hide it up. I don't see him like super often because he lives overseas. But
sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
Don't watch this.
I know he'll like want me to send him like my new music and like shit like that, and like I'll try to like make sure I just send him like the links without any pictures of me, or like don't send him my videos so he doesn't like see. And he came home and visited recently too.
Hey, Dad, like looking good, man.
Yeah. He came. Well, I can like I usually wear one where I can flip it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I always just flip it up in front of him. But I also didn't want him to see like my pink hair. I was very like, because my dad's this like strict Muslim dad. I'm like, he's gonna be so mad at me. And he came home like in 2019. I remember it was like right around the time I played with Mod Sun, which was cool because I had something to like really, you know, like say like, no, Dad, I'm doing cool thing. I'm playing at House of Blues this weekend with fucking this guy. You know what I mean? So, and I think like he really like I showed him like everything I was doing, and he like was really cool with it and like proud of it. He's like, no, you're doing. And when I was in the band before, he really did like not give a shit. He was just like, no, like you need to go to school and, you know, study religion more and this and that. And and I'm like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. He did say like he saw I took off my beanie. I remember I was over there and I like kind of slowly took it off, and he was just, you ruined your hair. But that was like all he had to say
forever.
Yeah, that was like all he had to say. Really, I was expecting a lot more like, you know, fucking more shit for that. But no, he's mainly supportive of this, actually. I remember recently I talked to him and he was just like, yeah, I haven't heard any new songs from you. You still putting out stuff? You need to keep that going. I was like, wow, you want me to continue doing music? Because like you never wanted that before. So, yeah, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, as far as the whole look, that was all just kind of like ideas that I had, but I never acted on. And then once I had that like whole spark in my brain, I was just like, I'm acting on everything. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I was very much like, I'm only gonna live once. That was my big thing when I first started Blossom too. I don't think I'd like mentioned that before. That was like a big thing when I was like talking to myself in the mirror and I was like manifesting this whole thing. I was literally like telling myself like, this is it or you're gonna die. Yeah, that's basically it. Like I was like, you can either like, you know, make this work and, you know, do everything you want to do with your life, or you're just gonna die miserable and just, you know. So it's just like, which one is it? And that's that was a very much just like, it sounds like weird and like depressing, because I would tell my friends sometimes like, no, if this doesn't work, like I'm gonna die. Like not like I'm saying I'm gonna kill myself or something, but like
you would die like slowly over the rest of your life doing something you don't like, like repressing this.
Yes, like this is me trying to save myself from like the awful life of fucking like, I don't know, the mundane lifestyle I really don't want and never wanted. I never wanted that shit. Like I've never had like a goal of like a dream job that like I wanted that was some fucking corporate or like whatever shit. Like no, I've always literally since I can remember, I've always wanted to be like a musician. So it's just like, yeah, dude, you got to do that. And I was not going to do that. I was very much just like working my office job and like giving up on my dream because my band broke up. And just like, it's time to just be an adult now. So when I had that full idea, I was like, no, fuck that. Don't be an idiot. Like this is your life. You got to do something about it. So, sorry, reverted back to that. But yeah, Blossom, that was a spark. That was an idea. Dyed my hair, pierced my ears, said, fuck it, baby. I was like, shit.
No, that's awesome. That was like way better. I was just expecting like nothing. Like I always try to ask like about people's like names, the artist names and stuff, and that was a great like everything about that. I appreciate that.
You have the whole origin now.
Yeah. So and we're gonna parking lot the Mod Sun thing because I definitely want to talk about that. I'm a Mod Sun fan as well. So I was curious about that, but you're throwing out all the segues, so I appreciate that. So I was gonna say, like, what was life growing up? What was like young kid you growing up prior to, you know, playing in bands, music, like
painful? I was bullied. I'm just kidding. I honestly feel like bad. I feel like so many people, like, I don't know, peers in the scene and stuff, I always see them tweeted like, I had no friends in high school. I was bullied. I was this and that. Blah blah blah. Nobody likes me, and now everyone wants to be my friend. I was always cool, dude.
Yeah.
I don't remember a time not being cool. No, I'm just kidding. But no, realistically, I mean, like in high school, middle school, and everything, like I always had like a pretty good support system. Like I started doing music. Like I think I just first joined choir like as soon as I could in like 4th grade. Like so I did choir like all the way up until like 10th grade, and in high school I was doing like 9th and 10th grade I was in like show choir, concert choir, barbershop quartet. I did like one of the musicals.
Oh man.
Yeah, I did like all the musical. Like I said, I've like always done music. Yeah, it's been like, a big thing for me. But as far as like social life, I was really big into skateboarding. That was like my big thing before like it was more like skateboarding was my life and music was like a side thing, and then it became like music was my life, and then skateboarding kind of like I still skate every once in a while, but that I was like really big into skating. But yeah, high school was like cool. I mean, like I don't know. I feel like I had a good amount of friends. I don't know. I didn't really have like a whole lot of problems with like anyone. I didn't have a whole lot of like enemies that I knew of. I was homecoming king. I literally have the plaque over there. So, and then when I started my first band in like 11th grade or 12th grade or whatever, like I would sell tickets to like people in the hallways all the time. I always used to like have people come to shows, and which is like a whole other thing. I always see like people now like that are in like high school that make music like scared to show their classmates and like people that they go to school with their music. I'm like, being in high school is the best time.
Exactly.
Yes, dude. You can like really show like I don't know. I feel people. I don't know if they're more susceptible or not, but I just feel like they're a little bit more like supportive in high school, and like it's way easier to sell tickets like to shows and shit in high school. Like that's for sure.
They get more free time. I feel like too. Yeah. You know, now if you tried to sell me a ticket, I'd be like, oh, I gotta check my schedule, and it's like it's as gross as that is to say. But that's, you know.
But yeah, no, I mean, as far as like high school went, like I didn't hate it. I don't know. The last 2 years, definitely like fucking junior and senior year, I definitely got very like I was just smoking weed a bunch and like, I don't know, doing dumb other shit and you know, whatever. But growing up, it was cool.
So did you want to be like a singer like almost the whole time because you did choir that whole time? Was that kind of like
I've always been like a singer like ever since, like I said, since like 4th grade. Like I've always been like doing that kind of shit.
Because you did vocals in your band too, or do you play instruments?
Yeah. So like when we did my band Crookshanks, initially we were second time around, and then we changed our name to Crookshanks. But yeah, I did.
What was it the first time?
The very, very first band was called Kill the Carrier, and I didn't. And that was a hardcore band that I didn't even do vocals in. I played like rhythm guitar.
Oh, okay.
And then we started second time around because it was all the same members except for like the vocalist, and then I did vocals, and then we just hated that name and changed it to Crookshanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did vocals in that band, and we did that for like 5 or 6 years. That was my whole life. You know what I mean? The way Blossom is my life now, like Crookshanks was like my whole thing. I mean, like, and we did like not bad, you know. Like we had like a pretty good local crowd. Like we would play all the time. We played with everyone from like Wonder Years to 4 Year Strong, Set Your Goals, Transit, Fireworks. Literally like every big pop punk band from that era. Like, we played with like everyone. Went on a couple tours. Recorded our EP with Nick from the Swellers out in Michigan. So like, yeah, we did. It was a good run. You know what I mean? I loved that time. That was like one of the best times of my life. Yeah. And then it's just hard to keep a band together. You know,
it is.
It is. Eventually, just becomes more of a chore. Then there's one or two of us in the band that just like really wasn't like our one guitarist just was not feeling it. We literally had to drag him out of bed one time for a show. Like our second last show, he wasn't answering the phone, and we literally pulled up to his house and dragged him out of bed. So like, man, when it got to that point, we were like, yeah, we can't fucking do this shit anymore. Like, it's not gonna work. So yeah, that sucked a lot. That was actually the anniversary of our last show was literally last week. I got there was like pictures up.
Oh, that's sweet.
Mm-hmm. That was it's been 6 years now since we broke up. It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, but
was that like? Do you look back as like, I wish that Crookshanks would have been like maybe not in place of Blossom Reynolds, but like was that what you would have wanted, like the band like Rockstar type thing like, versus this? Or
realistically, I mean, yeah, if like I wish that like we really like because we had like all like the potential to really do something cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it was definitely all there. It just came down to us, just like in our work ethic and just like not really being able to, you know, do it up. But like I definitely wish that like I fully believe if we all had like the same amount of just like drive and like did it, we definitely like could have really probably taken it to a higher level and like done cool shit with it. But at the same time, you know, that's like, well, we're talking about like the universe, that's how it like works out. And like I'm really happy that I had that background of like being in Crookshanks for so long and like being a front man and shit, because like going into Blossom, like there's just so much shit that like I already know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have to do like that like weird little struggle of like just now getting into like music and like having to like make these connections and like, you know, figure out like who I am as like a singer or like something like that. I'm just like, no, I really like kind of have and I already had a bunch of connections, which was sick. That was like basically how like I started playing like shows so quick and getting on a bunch of shows as Blossom, is because like I already am, you know, cool with all the booking agents, you know, out here, because they all like I've been working with them for years. So when I started this shit, they were like, oh shit, you know, you're back into music, I'm gonna help you out, we're gonna get this shit going. So yeah, I had like a little advantage in that sense, where it's just like I've been doing this, you know. That's a funny thing too, because like other locals that like see me pop up on the scene who don't know where I am, like, who the fuck is this kid? And it's just like I've literally been playing shows for over 10 years now. And like it's been this is not like Blossom, I guess it's new to like you guys and like me and like, you know, everything, but like as far as like being like a singer and a musician and shit, like no, this is like my whole life. This is all I've done. This is like all I want to do. So God, what was the I'm sorry.
I think you answered it.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of honestly letting you just go until you kind of stop. And I feel bad like jumping in to cut you off, but like I don't want to be like the guy that's like breaking in. If you got more to say, like we're here to say.
Yeah,
you know?
Feel free to cut me off. I talk too much. I definitely talk a lot. So sorry.
No, that's all right. I'm just kind of pointing you in a direction and let you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah. So I was gonna say, Crookshanks, musically, do you think that was more or less influenced what Blossom became / what is becoming?
Yes, like now for sure, especially with my new stuff that I haven't really released yet, but like all the stuff that I plan on doing this year, it's very much almost just like Crookshanks Part 2. It's just like it's like
sonically it sounds very similar. It's just you kind of doing everything.
Yeah, sonically it's like it's back to like, you know, pop punk and me just doing like my pop punk vocals and shit. Like I'm not really trying to like be a rapper. It's fun to rap, but I don't think I could. I don't know. I'm not much of a rapper.
Yeah,
like, I'm much more of a.
We all know. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I definitely feel like my strong suit is in pop punk, and that's what I enjoy making the most too. So it's just like when it comes down to it, I really feel like that's where I've always been. Like I said, I mean, that's where I started, and that's where I kind of just want to go back to. It's kind of cool. I feel like I'm like kind of finding my roots with like these new songs. Just kind of going back to like what I'm like really comfortable with and what I'm good at, and building onto it now, like doing like it's cool now actually like writing these new pop punk songs, because I'm doing shit that like I wish I would have did when I was in Crookshanks, because I just like know my voice a little bit better now, and like I'm like better just like harmonies and like, you know, just stuff like that. I'm just like I didn't do like any harmonies in like my old band. Like didn't even fuck with that. Now I'm just like, God, there's so much room for improvement. But yeah, no, I mean, a lot of that Crookshanks like background definitely carried with me into Blossom, and I'm happy it did, for sure. It's cool to have that background. Like, yeah,
that's excellent. And I think as far as how did early Blossom kind of sound? How did you transition from what Blossom of just like I'm dyeing my hair, I'm becoming a rock star, like I'm doing this, versus like I'm not making sense, but it's
I kind of get what you're saying now, like how like
because early Blossom Reynolds didn't sound like Crookshanks, but then now it does, but then it always kind of did at the same time.
I feel like I guess it was just like more of like I was trying to bring out more of like a different side when I first started this shit. That was definitely more just kind of like cool guy and like, you know, like whatever. Whereas like I don't know,
cool guy, just kind of whatever,
you know, cool guy, whatever kind of dude, you
just know, whatever kind of guy,
real badass in the club,
but whatever at the same time.
But very whatever. He's chill. He's a chill dude. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely like. I don't know, man. I feel like the more like, I think it also had to do with like some beats that like. Just beats that I was like kind of given and like sent. You know what I mean? Because like I would get like those kind of more like rap beats and shit, and be like, yeah, this is cool, and try to start rapping on it. But then people would send me like emo rap beats, and I would start writing like really cool shit. And I'm just like, oh no, I want to make this instead. Yeah. So it's kind of like it's a lot of different things. I feel like people's beats influenced it, but also just kind of like I said, like my writing style is like unapologetically like emo and angsty, and like I can't escape that. I try to, and in my first EP I tried, like I definitely like that's me trying not to be emo. I was like, let me just try to write like cool.
Yeah, like I want to be cool. I don't want to be myself almost.
Yes, exactly. I was almost kind of like portraying more of just kind of like, this is me, but this is like the cooler side of me.
Yeah,
and, yes, and I don't know, and then eventually it just kind of like blossomed, so to speak.
Ooh.
Yeah, into what it is now. I don't know. I just kind of. I don't know, realizing more of like it comes down to also just kind of like that was like my first EP, and I was just kind of like putting stuff out there and just kind of like I thought like that sounded cool and blah blah blah. But the more you write and the more you make, the more you like realize like what you do want to sound like, and like what kind of like style you're kind of going for and what is cool for you. And I think like the more I started writing like more songs like that, the more I'm just like, no, this is like my sound, this is like what I want to do, this feels natural to me, this isn't like I'm not trying to be like some cool guy, I'm just like, this is just, I'm an emo bitch. And I always will be. But yeah, I don't know, it's I don't want to ever say like the first EP like wasn't me, because it was, but it definitely was just like definitely another side of me that I was really trying to like be, and like now I've just kind of been like more just like, no, I'm just gonna be more just myself, and hopefully people like it. Do
you feel like that started almost with one song, or can you think of one song that was like, oh, this is it, I know now? I think it was,
I want to say the song, like the first kind of song I kind of made like that was Balance. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a song on my first EP, it's called Toxic Ways, and that one was kind of like my first like emo-ish song, but that was like literally like, I remember I wrote that song and I was like, I'm gonna make one emo song, and that's it. Like, and that was like
okay, two.
Yeah,
okay, fine.
Right? Like, yeah. But yeah, I remember like that was gonna be like a one and done type of thing. But then like I don't know, I think Tear God sent me some beat or whatever. He was like, yo, I like your shit. Let me send you beats, and sent me some more of like kind of like emo rap beats, and I was like fucking with them, and wrote, I think Balance was the one, which is like somewhere on SoundCloud still, but. Which really isn't even really so much of like an emo song. It's still like emo rap. Like I rap on that one too, but that was just like more of me trying to be like, I don't know, I guess it was more like an alternative and less like rappy, or more less like hip hop, and more I'm just kind of like, this is like emo rap or alt rap or whatever. Yeah. And I think that was like the first one, and then I did Fight With Me, and I'm like, yeah, I like doing this kind of shit. Like this is cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really like making all kinds of shit. Like, even to this day, I mean, I just dropped a fucking, like, EDM song, like, 2 weeks ago? That's just straight up just, like, fucking 2007's MySpace type shit.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm really all over the place with, like, my music style and taste and things I listen to, but I do know that, like, with my newer stuff that I'm doing now, I'm trying to, like, stay more focused, and I do want to just make, like, straight up more, like, pop-punk music, because that's, like, what I feel in my heart I should be doing, and, like, I enjoy making. But as far as, like, everything before this, I really bounced a lot, honestly. I have, like, 3 or 4 EDM songs.
I was going to even ask, like, how does that fit into everything, and was that more... Because I know you like EDM, just music in general, so I didn't know if that was kind of, like... part of Blossom, or almost like part of you as a person, like that you just fit in and you're like, I like doing this.
I really like, I want to make EDM work so bad in like my sound, because I truly do, like, that's all I listen to really, is like, I'm such a house head. I listen to so much house and techno, like,
I walked in the house, there was some going on.
Literally, that's all we like. We are a house and techno family here, and hardstyle and fucking, I don't know, we listen to like a variety of different types of EDM, I guess, but I have been like that for years. I mean, I've been going to like fests and raves and shit like that for like years now, and like it's always been a part of my life. So like I would love in some way, shape, or form to like make more EDM music, but like at the same time, like I like the EDM songs I put out, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't like really see my whole sound like revolving around that, I guess. Like, and I don't know how to work, like, maybe one day I'll figure it out. Like, maybe one day I'll be able to mesh like pop punk and house music, and it'll like work great, you know? Yeah. Like, but like, I don't know. As far as like, I'm starting to realize more now, like, I can like be, you know, I don't have to like put EDM in. It's cool, you know what I mean? Okay, like if I can like work that out and it sounds cool, it's cool, but it's not something I'm like forcing anymore or anything. Yeah. Like, I'm just gonna like, I don't know. It's rough. Like I said, I would like to like be more of an EDM artist to an extent, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't even know. Like,
well, so question for you, because I'm curious to tie in our earlier conversation of like, I am Blossom Reynolds now. Would you ever and I don't mean to be like this as like serious but not serious, like not that would you seriously ever do this, but do you feel like you've got some sort of like artist at the bedrock of yourself that's an artist that would make EDM music, maybe not Blossom Reynolds?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I mean, I have like a whole other like
persona or
like side project. I joke like it's not like serious or anything really, but it's called XL Choker, and that's like my like
check it out, XL Choker.
Yeah, XL Choker. That's like my.
That's actually a sweet name. I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that name a lot. That's real. I can't even remember how we thought of it. I think literally, I remember we were on the way to a rave. Me and like 3 of my friends, and me and my other friend were wearing chokers, and my one friend is like bigger. And he's like, I wish I could wear a choker, but I can't. I'm too big. And we're like, you need an XL choker. And I just thought that was a cool name. I was like, wait, XL choker, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like my like. When I DJ and stuff, like tonight when I'm gonna go DJ and shit, like if anyone were to ask, like this is like me doing it under XL Choker, like that's like a whole different thing. So like, and when during quarantine, I downloaded Ableton, like the free trial or whatever, and I started producing, and I produced like probably a good like 5 or 6 house songs. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, I was like almost like going to like start a whole other project under XL Choker and just start dropping house music. So if I do EDM shit, which I like kind of like already do to an extent, it's gonna be under a different name. I just don't think Blossom really like. I could do like some random verses like on someone's like
that would be kind of cool. Blend 2 of yourself on one song.
Yeah, like I would do like a verse on like somebody's track if they send it to me and it like kind of went with my style but had like EDM drops and shit. Like that's sick. I love that. But. Yeah, it's not something I'm like super pushing. I'm not like there was a minute when I was like in my head, like I was like I want to be like the kind of like pop punk dance emo EDM type dude, and now I'm just like no, I just want to be like aggressive pop punk guy.
Yeah,
a lot of my newer shit is a lot more aggressive, and I like that.
Yeah,
much, like I'm an angsty guy. I can't lie to you. Got a lot of angst in my heart. But
that's cool. Oh, burping,
dude! I'd be doing it.
Man, I'm back in like 7th grade. That's awesome.
At the lunch table.
I could never do that. I can't like. I always joke with my girlfriend. I'll be like, "I burped. Are you proud?" She's like, "I'm so proud of you," because it's like I can't do it. I'm like, and like crazy.
I never could. I was just like that for like my whole life, and then I'll never forget my one friend.
I thought okay. I thought you were gonna say I'd never forget my burp. My first burp.
My first burp. No, my friend Leanne did teach me how to burp one night though. We were like partying or something, and somehow she like taught it to me. And ever since then, I burp all the time. It's so weird.
Oh man.
Yeah, like my body.
I'm gonna need that number afterwards because I would love to burp. Like
I just be burping now. My dad hates it. Like my one friend also hates it. I burp in front of my one friend purposely just because I know she hates it so much.
Yeah.
But anyways, I can't remember where we were at before.
It's cool. I have a couple different ways we're going to take it, and you've set up segues already, so I'm just going to take one of these paths.
Let's do it.
So, in the pop-punk vein,
yes.
We talked Tear God, awesome producer, by the way. We talked, I guess, some of the other producers, as we were talking earlier, are you looking with this new kind of pop-punk direction and focus? Are you planning on playing any instruments, writing any of this stuff? Or are you working with maybe 1 or 2 producers that are producing that sound?
Yeah,
it was a full band, some of those songs.
I've been working a lot with King Theta. He did Wear Me Out that dropped in the beginning of this year. And then I have like 5 songs with him now that are unreleased. Him and IOF. When they collab, that's when they do like the full band shit. I'm pretty sure like IOF is doing like the drums, I think, and I think Theta's doing the guitars and stuff. I don't know that.
They're like actually like kind of playing it basically.
I think. That's definitely. I want to say that's all like. I don't think they're using loops or anything.
It sounds like it's actual like a band. That's what I was so intrigued about in hearing it.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
I heard unreleased songs.
Yes. No, I'm almost positive that IOF is doing like live drums. At least that's what it sounds like for sure.
Right,
and then like. Theta is just a fucking they're both monsters, dude. They're just so fucking good at like producing, and it's like the exact kind of sound that like I want.
Yeah.
So, I've been working a lot with them, just getting beats from them and shit. I'm really looking for more, honestly. If you're a pop punk fucking producer and you got good pop punk beats, send them my way, because like I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to find like the kind that I'm looking for. I feel like a lot of them are either like not aggressive enough. I like shit that's like real like in your face, like where, like, it hits you, and like some of these beats are just they're just kind of like chill and stuff, and like it's fine, but I really want to take a more like aggressive approach to my music. I feel like but
do you think you would Blossom Reynolds ever become a band almost like Mac DeMarco type thing, where you're the lead, but you're...
So I was almost going to do that, actually. I remember there was like a time before I played with, God, what show was it? I think this was when when I did play with Issues and Lil Aaron and, God, why can't I remember the other headliner? It's escaping me now. I don't know. But anyways, I played with them at House of Blues.
Mobsong?
No.
Okay, I was like, I don't want to say it because I don't want to segue too early, but...
Yeah, no, that was a different show. This was, Issues was the main headliner, and then it was another big band, and I can't remember. It's like on the tip of my tongue, and I just can't remember who it is. And then Lil Aaron.
Bless you.
Bless you. But, what was I going to say? But I was going to play full band for that show, and I was going to start, like, doing that up, and it was me... Logan from Heart Attack Man on drums, and then Eric from Heart Attack Man was going to be on guitar, and then my friend Joey, who was in Crookshanks, was going to be, or I think Eric was going to be on bass maybe, and then Joey was going to be on guitar. And we practiced once. Eric not making it. I can't remember. I think they were doing some band shit or was on tour or like something. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. This is before Logan was permanently in the band too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we practiced like at least like a couple times. I know me and Logan practiced like a bunch too, because like just like drums and like we were gonna like I was gonna start trying to play like bands full band or shows full band.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, yes, like eventually if I got like a good like if this started like I feel like if now looking at it, like I definitely want to be to a point where I'm kind of like a little bigger and just kind of like playing like, you know, bigger shows and shit. Like if I'm still doing like kind of like, you know, that's why I wanted to do that, because it was like a big House of Blues show, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
right.
Play with like a big
It's
band.
a big show, yeah.
Let me play with a full band. But if I'm playing like, you know, a local show around here and it's just like the homies, like it's fine. I don't really need like a full band. But I would love to eventually have like a backing band for like certain shows and shit. I really think that would be like just add a lot, especially now with like some of my songs being like straight up full band songs. I feel like it'd almost be kind of weird to like do a full band type song where it's just me, like I don't like. Even though that's how a lot of us perform in the scene. But
where's the rest of them? Like, I don't see them. I hear them, but like...
Well, it's funny because, I mean, like 10 years ago, if you were to do that, people would literally laugh at you, I feel like. Like, I feel like there was a band opening up for us, and it was just like the front man playing on a backtrack. People would be like, what the fuck's going on? But now it's much more accepted, because that's like, you know, what a lot of people do. So I wouldn't be like super embarrassed by it, but I would like to have a band.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Eventually one day. I'm not super pressed about it, but... Yeah. I mean, who knows when I'm even going to play a fucking show at this point, so...
Yeah.
Yes. You know? Yes, we're still waiting on that one, so...
So I'm taking this back a little bit. Yeah. So you said you kind of listened to EDM for a long time. I'm curious because you mentioned, you know, father overseas, religious in some respect. Mm-hmm. What was like music life? Were you influenced by mom and dad? Were you just kind of EDM at some point? Like, how did you get into music?
I guess like eventually EDM came a lot later. Actually, the first album I ever remember getting, my first album ever, was Sum 41's All Killer No Filler.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes, I got that in like 3rd grade. I remember I got that like for I can't remember if it was my birthday or...
You said 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it was. Okay. I was young, yes. I can't remember if it was like my birthday or Ramadan, but it was something where I was getting like a gift. And I remember it was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 wrapped with All Killer No Filler, like both packaged together.
Man, that's a gift.
Dude, literally for like months, all I remember doing is listening to that CD and playing that game like nonstop. Yeah. So
and the game itself had a good soundtrack always too.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like my first like. I loved Sum 41, and I was like, so yeah, I've loved pop punk since literally 3rd grade. Like,
did your parents listen to that stuff too, or they just knew you liked it, or they knew this was a hot like thing? I'm gonna give it.
No, yeah, they knew I wanted it. I was like, okay, yeah, I was like, I think I really liked Fat Lip or whatever. It was like on MTV, and I was like, yeah, I want the CD, and they bought me that CD, knowing I wanted it. Yeah, no, I mean, my mom, I don't even know. My mom listens to like a random music. She like kind of R&B, everything from like R&B to like country and like I don't know, random stuff like that. My dad, I don't even know. My dad likes the Eagles. Okay, I think it's the only band I really. My dad loves Cat Stevens. We listened to a bunch of Cat Stevens growing up, and now I also love Cat Stevens. Great stuff.
That's cool.
Yes. As far as like musical influence from them, I didn't really get like any. They were like not really musicians. I don't really know where my music bug came from, because like my older sister and my older brother don't do music at all.
Mm-hmm. Are they not? Are you? not in an offensive way, but you guys not like a creative family. You're kind of like the creative one. The rest of the family's more like
So basically, I mean, my little brother is now like also a creative too.
Okay.
Yeah, my little brother kind of took after me in the sense of like getting into music and like stuff like that, and he's awesome. He does. Like,
is he the only one underneath you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he does like more like old school like boom bap type of production.
That's cool.
Yeah, like that kind of hip hop. He like samples straight from vinyl too. Like he kills it. He's like really
that's
good.
awesome.
He'll like he DJs like around here and shit sometimes too. Like he'll DJ like hip hop sets and whatnot. Like he's sick. He does like a lot. He has his own radio show for CSU.
Okay.
And where he does like hip hop shit and whatnot. So he kills it. He does like for a while. I fucking like pretty much passed the torch because like my band broke up and I fucking dropped music and like he was the only musical dude in the family and that was like a bummer in my heart sometimes.
Right.
I was like, wow, I can't believe like what the fuck. So yeah, no. But yeah, no. As far as the rest of my family, like no, nobody's really like music. They enjoy music, you know what I mean? Like, but nobody really does music or anything like that.
That's interesting. So you kind of like at some point you just were watching some MTV, heard Fat Lip, you're like, this is cool, and then just it started snowballing. Like
I was really into like Sum 41. I fucking Blink-182, like real early Green Day and like stuff like that, and then like
I like that you said early Green Day because that early Green Day and like Green Day very different.
Very different. Yes, very early Green Day I was into. But yeah, I like that kind of shit, and then but I also at the same time was getting like really really into rap. Like I really like right after I got Sum 41, All Killer No Filler, I got the Slim Shady LP. And the fucking Marshall Mathers LP from Eminem.
Man.
And yeah, I was like a really big Eminem
That's
fan.
A great foundation.
Yeah,
like, I love that.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
That's sick. Cool. Yeah, no, I used to love those albums. I was like a big Eminem fan a long time ago. And DMX, used to love DMX. Yeah, I don't know. So
how did you find out about rap and hip hop from like I guess I'm picturing maybe 3rd, 5th grade versus
probably just, TV and stuff.
TV?
I don't know. Yeah,
I guess that was probably Eminem's time. Yeah, right around that point.
My sister was a pretty big influence too, especially when it comes to like alternative music. Like I remember my sister was the first person to ever show me like Brand New and AFI.
Oh,
and, okay. And Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah.
So, which ended up being like Taking Back Sunday is like one of my all-time favorite bands, you know. So my sister was definitely a big influence when it came on to like that stuff. Like she showed me a lot of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was it. And then I was really into like those bands. I got really into like Taking Back Sunday and like Census Fail and The Used and Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco and like all that kind of shit. I was just super into like that whole era of music. And then in 10th grade, my friend, I met a friend in my physical science class, became one of my best friends, and he was wearing a Set Your Goals shirt. And I complimented him on it, not even knowing who Set Your Goals was. I just thought that the shirt looked cool.
Yeah.
And he was just
I found out a lot of bands that way too. Like, that's a sweet shirt. Oh, yeah.
And I think I like actually like faked it too. Like he was like, oh, you know Set Your Goals? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's on your shirt.
Yeah, it's cool. He's like, oh, sick, dude. Yeah, you gotta like... Mind you, this is like a new kid too. Like he was new from like out of town.
Yeah.
And this is like the first day of school. So yeah, and I remember he told me like, he's like, oh yeah, if you like them, you should listen to the Wonder Years. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went home that night and looked up the Wonder Years, and that just opened like my whole fucking door into like that wave of pop punk.
Yeah.
And this is like way early. This is in 10th grade. This is like this is when the Wonder Years hadn't even dropped the Upsides yet. They only
that wacky synth stuff.
Yeah. And this is like way back in the day. So like I remember him showing me the Wonder Years, and then like that just completely changing like everything. I just like got super into pop punk from that point, and that just became like my whole life for like a while. And I was going to all those shows. We would drive out of state for shows sometimes. We were just like all about like all that shit. And then eventually the band started. I met some friends from school, and we all had the same kind of interests and started playing music, and then boom. But that's kind of how it goes up. I didn't really start getting into like EDM and stuff until like maybe a little after. I had a friend. He's still my best friend to this day. My friend Sammy, who I've been friends with since like 10th grade, and he's always listened to kind of like obscure sort of music. Like before like I don't know, we didn't even consider it like EDM at the time. It was just kind of like weird indie music and like weird shit. And then he kind of just evolved his music taste into like EDM. And I used to dog him for it. Like he used to be like, how can you listen to this shit? But it was like early like dubstep and like shit like that. I was just like, how do you listen to this like all fucking day long, blah blah blah. And then it was like a guilty pleasure. Then I was like, oh, I kind of like some of these songs. Yeah. And then I would go to the raves and shit. And I'm like, oh, this is actually a pretty fun time. And now I am very unapologetic about it. I don't care. I love fucking... But I don't listen to dubstep or anything like that anymore. I'm like very much a house head and like techno and stuff like that. But yeah, that's more of like my later adult years. Like now I find myself like if I'm just like sitting around like doing something or I'm driving in my car, like I put on house music.
Okay,
yeah,
that's probably good driving music because it's kind of like you're
good.
feeling it, and
it's good life music. I'm telling you, it is like every driving, working out, just fucking sitting around. Like I just love just that little nice little groove.
Yeah,
it's good.
Well, that's cool. I was gonna ask, I guess, what have you been listening to lately? I guess I'll still ask it, but aside from maybe that, is there any artists that you kind of fuck with listen to?
Yeah, there's still like I still like as far as like artists in my scene. I think 93 Feet of Smoke is great.
Yeah, he's
for sure.
Yeah, he always is putting out like really cool, like interesting stuff that I like. Lotus he just put out a new song today. That's cool. I've never been like a huge like Lotus stan or anything, but like I really respect like his like I love his voice. I just think he has like a great like kind of just like the way he slides on a song is so good.
Yeah,
he just sounds good. Who else am I like really listening to right now? My dude Phoenicia. I don't know if you ever heard the name. He's
Is it just Phoenicia or is it my dude Phoenicia?
No, it's Phoenicia.
Okay, I was just like,
yeah,
you never know, you know.
He's like, no, he's a homie. I mean, he literally stayed over here for the weekend. He's from New York, New Jersey area. I can't remember New York. I want to say I should know that more.
Yeah,
but yeah, he just stayed over here for a weekend like a month ago. He's like a really good friend of mine, but he kills it. He's got some really good music out. Who else in the scene, really? I don't know. I haven't really, like, super hopped into, like, the hyper-pop shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think, like, they're cool, and I got respect for what they're doing, but I just, like, don't find myself... Alice Gas is good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm talking about that, Alice Gas is, like, probably the only one that I'm, like, she's sick.
Yeah. That can be it. I mean, you gave us a bunch, more than I was even expecting.
I don't know. Yeah,
we'll move on, and you'll randomly shout out who you're actually listening to. Because if you asked me, I probably would name some, and then it would be like, it's this one. I would forget.
Matson's new stuff is cool. I do like his new stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
New stuff.
That's a great segue because Matson's just the evolution of him is like incredible.
Cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was it like meeting him? Actually meeting him and being in the same room conversationally.
That was like one of my favorite nights of Blossom for sure.
Yeah.
Like, since I've started this, yeah. Like that whole just like getting on that show was like wild because like obviously like House of Blues, like, you know, I've played a lot of shows around here, but I've never like it's very different playing a House of Blues. It's like like I got paid with like a check, you know what I mean? Like, that was really like I literally had to give them like my W-2s and shit. Like when I like, you know, just like this is crazy. I'm just
That's awesome. Though.
Yeah. It's like it's much more like official. They actually had like, you know, a real green room back there with like drinks and shit, you know, and like fucking. So that whole experience in itself of just getting to play like House of Blues was just like wow, this is wild. But then. I was nervous for like a handful of reasons. I don't know if his fans are gonna like me. Mm-hmm. I don't know if like what they're gonna think of me. Blah blah blah. But he was super cool. I just remember like first meeting him like while he was doing like a sound check and shit, and he was just like very nice. Like, you know, him and like his like I don't know was maybe like the booking agent for that tour or whatever. Like we're like, oh yeah, dude, we were listening to you in like the hotel room before this. Like you got some 6 tunes, blah blah blah. So I was like, oh, that's it.
That's cool. They did a little research on like who we were playing with. That's awesome.
I was like, that's awesome, dude. Like, thank you. And then I remember it was just like he was just like fucking back in the green room, just like smoking like a huge fucking joint, and these random dudes walk in and they have all this tattoo equipment, and he's just like, yeah, I'm about to get tattooed. You want anything? I was just like,
you want anything?
Yeah, I was like, I don't have any tattoos, so I'm just like, yeah, I don't have any, so like probably not. And he's like, yeah, I feel that, you know, I respect it. You know, you either get covered like me or you stay naked. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, but he literally was just sitting there like hunched over a chair smoking a fucking joint with getting his back tattooed.
Yeah,
and I was like, this is so like cool. Like I'm just like, I don't know, very cool like. Shit, I guess, but
that's very Mod Son.
Exactly, yeah. I was just like, this is but so, and then I played my set, and I came back. He was getting tattooed like the whole time, but there's like a screen in there and like speakers in there, so you can like see what's going on. And I came back there, and I remember him being like, "Yo, that song Bad Side you played was sick. Like that was sick, dude." Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, thanks," you know, and like we chopped it up about that for a minute, and just like, you know, this and that. He played, it was sick. I think I got on stage for one song. I can't remember now, but I think there was this. Yeah, I think it was one of like the last songs or something where they had like they were pulling like everyone on stage and shit. And like, I think I jumped on there and shit, and like that was cool because they really all treated me like I was part of like the bill, and like you play with a lot of these bigger artists sometimes, and they just like treat like the locals like fucking shit, like they just like shouldn't even be on the show.
Yeah,
and like I get it. I've been on like tour before and stuff, and like I know how that is. So it's like whatever. But like I don't know, it gets discouraging and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it was really cool for like, especially an artist like as big as Mod Sun to be like so like welcoming and friendly and just like cool.
Yeah.
Like afterwards, like they were like, "Yo, dude, there's we're having an after party at the Barley House, like right around the corner. You want to come?" I'm like, yeah. So me and my DJ Anthony just fucking pull up to Barley House after the show. And first off, have you ever been to Barley House?
Yeah.
Okay, that was my first time I've ever gone there. They didn't want to let me in because I was wearing overalls. So like stopped me at the door and they're like, "Yeah, you can't come in." And
what was the problem with the overalls?
I don't fucking. They were just being fucking assholes.
Okay, so, we have a strict no overalls policy.
I don't know. I mean, I was wearing like blue overalls. I had my like bright pink hair. I was just, I don't know, whatever. My nails were painted black, I think. Yeah. They just like looked at me and they're like, you're
no.
Yeah. So I was like, I flashed like my House of Blues wristband that I still had on. And I was like, I just played with Mod Sun. Like, I'm here for the after party. And you're just like, oh, all right, come here. And so
Mod Sun has a tattoo on his back that like,
yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So I'm like, so then they let me in the club, but then I'm trying to get to like the VIP area. Like I see them in the VIP, so I like walk up to the VIP and I get stopped again. And the dude's like, "Yeah, no, you can't come back here." And I'm like, I'm with them. Like I just played like blah blah blah. And no. And like literally Mod Sun and like fucking Brennan and Baby and all them, everyone that was over there were all just like, "No, he's with us. He's with us. Let him in."
Yeah.
He was, "Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know." I'm like, "Bitch, you did know. I just told you."
Yeah, you did
like
know.
3 fucking times. Like, it pissed me off. But then it was cool because then I got to walk past him like, "Yeah, that's right, bitch."
Yeah.
I'm with them. But yeah, no, that night was sick. I remember just like, and this is right when Mod Sun, like, right when he went sober. Like he was.
I was going to ask about that too.
Yeah. I think he was like 10 days sober at this point, or like 15, or like he was pretty early on. So he wasn't even drinking. We were just like hanging out in the club. It was crazy. That was the first time I've ever seen bottle service. So like, I remember like fucking all that shit was on the table. I remember like Baby E just being like, "Blossom, you gonna pour yourself a drink?" I'm like, "I guess." I don't know.
If you insist.
Like, I don't know. They brought pizza over to us. I was literally eating pizza with like in the club in the VIP with Mod Sun. And I'm just like, this is a wild life. Like, I don't know. That was definitely a high point in my career. I was really happy about that. I felt like a real like artist that night. I was just like, yeah, this is legit. Like, this is cool. But that experience was wild. That was definitely like to this day one of my favorite shows I've played for sure. And like, I wish I would have kept like more in contact with them. I don't know. I've tried to reach out to him, but I just assume that he gets like flooded with fucking DMs and shit all day long. Yeah. So it's just like, hard. Because I was talking to him and like at the club. I remember talking to him about his sobriety when we were in the club. I was like, "Is this weird for you? Like, are you like feeling like tempted or anything?" And he's just like, "It's new, but like, I'm trying to stay strong, this and that, blah blah blah." And like, but yeah, he was a really cool dude. I definitely would like to think if I saw him again, he'd be like, "Oh, Blossom, what's up?"
Yeah, he's recognized the pink hair or something. Like, he'd recognize the personality or something.
I would like to think I made an impression on him to an extent, but I don't know. Great night, cool times, man. And like I said before, it's cool to play with people that acknowledge you as like the artist that you are and like respect it and like like it doesn't happen with like a whole lot of Garden's like one of the only other people I've played with that are just like super genuine and nice and just like you can tell like genuinely fucks with me. Like, so that was like super cool. But yeah, I'm not gonna name names of like the people that are like I've played with that were like
these are good shitty. And these are the bad ones. Like,
but it's definitely like a lot of like your favorite artists that are fucking assholes that are just not nice. Like I don't know, man, they're just not that cool. But some of them are really nice and very cool. It's not hard. Yeah. It's not hard to be nice. So when people are just like assholes to like the locals, it tells me a lot about like who they are. Just like whatever. But yeah, that's the Mod Sun story for you.
I appreciate that.
Great.
I'm gonna shift gears real quick too on as far as because I was doing a little research. I was trying to listen to the Blossom Reynolds discography. The past couple days.
Yeah.
I'm curious lyrics wise. Emo, angst, all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. What inspires lyrics? Do you have any favorite lyrics that you've wrote? And I also don't want to get you in trouble, but is it about multiple like love relationships? Is there one or two big ones that it's kind of about?
Yeah.
Or, like,
sometimes like
15 questions go.
Yo, it's cool because I'll fucking answer them all too, and over the course of like
I'll answer
half an hour.
Yeah.
No, that is a good question. I like that question. I feel like lyrics like always. It really all depends. But, like, sometimes I feel like... What? Sometimes I really feel like they just be coming to me, and I hate to say that, you know what I mean, because I feel like that sounds like cliche or like whatever, but sometimes, like, I don't know, that beat like starts coming, and like those words just like I before I even like have like can even process the thought, I'm just writing down words. And like sometimes it all makes sense on the spot, and I'm just like, and I can build off of like that initial like idea, and just like, and sometimes, man, a whole song just like comes out, and it doesn't even make sense until like a month later. Like I will like re-listen to it, and then like certain situations happen in my life, and I'm just like, oh wow, like I almost feel like I was like maybe channeling like a future like me or something when I wrote that. Like, I don't know. It's like a really like, so
almost like it's in here somewhere and it's like pulled out.
Yes, exactly.
But it's not, and not to like discredit anything lyric wise or whatever, but like you're not consciously like, I'm writing about this moment or this time. It's more.
It all like I said too, like it does depend, because I do have like certain songs that are definitely like specifically about a certain moment in time, and like I wrote them about that moment in time. Like Pastime is a good example for that. Like that whole song and like second verse specifically is definitely about like a moment that like I was trying to write about. So like sometimes I do have like something in mind, and you know, Dusty. Right.
I don't know the rules in the house. I didn't want to like say anything, but that probably is not a good thing to do.
So I have tape on the couches because he's fucking scratches this shit up. But anyways, but yeah, sometimes, you know, it is more focused and aimed like that, and I try to like really put something out, and sometimes like, I don't know, some lyrics just be like coming out, and I'm just like, damn, dude, like that's sick. I wrote like the song that we just shot that video for. Those lyrics for like the hook, I love those lyrics, and I don't even remember like thinking of them. I literally just remember them like hearing this beat and like getting that melody in my head, and the next thing you know, I'm just like writing it down, and then I reread it, and I'm just like, wow, what the fuck? Like, you snapped. Good job. Like, I don't know, sometimes it's almost like freestyling, you know what I mean? Like when you like freestyle rap, and like you just like, sometimes you just be saying like that bar, and you're just like, damn, I just thought of that. Sometimes I feel like I write like that. I just be like kind of like almost in like a freestyle like head, and like certain things just like stick better than others, and I pick like, you know, what's good. But yeah, sometimes I don't even be understanding my songs until like a little bit after. Sometimes it all makes perfect sense like right there, and sometimes like I don't know, like it takes a second, but they always make sense to me at some point, even if it's not like right when I'm writing it. And then I don't know, sometimes like certain songs of mine, like I'm trying to think of like, it sucks because a lot of like the lyrics I want to talk about are songs that aren't out yet, so it's like but even for like Wear Me Out, like the first line in that song is like, lost a year, took a beating, and I just feel like that really encapsulates like my 2020 for the most part. And then like when I was writing that song, I don't know, like I think like in my head, like it kind of seemed like just like a random like, some songs seem like, or some lines seem like it would be like about a girl, but then the more I like finally listened to it, especially with like that first line in there, I like re-listened to like all the lyrics that I wrote and shit, and I'm just like, I think I was actually writing this about 2020. Like,
that's interesting.
And then now, like, the more I listen to like the lyrics, like, and everything, I'm just like, this is definitely like a song about how shitty 2020 is, like, for sure. Like, fuck me up and wear me out. Like, that was basically like my 2020, and I don't know.
It's cool. You could take it either way. Like somebody could be listening to it who wants, like your friend who had to break up and cried. He might take it and be like, "Oh, this is perfect, just what I need." Somebody might have had a shitty 2020. And they might have lost their job or something. Like, fuck 2020. You know, that's really awesome.
Yeah, but that I don't know. Lyrics always like, and I love writing. Like, I really love, like, I love some of my lyrics. Like, I'm not gonna.
Do you have any favorites? Because I was curious.
Once, I mean, I'll just say the Familiar Face one because, you know, it's not out yet. But that whole, what is it? Too late to say please, I'll be gone once again. Don't ever take me for family or friends. Stay out my space. Familiar face. Nothing more, nothing less. I just feel like something about like familiar face, nothing more, nothing less. Like that just like resonates with me in a sense. Like I wrote that and it just like really, I don't know. I just like, you just feel certain things in like your soul when you write them, and I'd like sometimes you just kind of feel like a familiar face, you know what I mean? Like you don't really like connect with like a whole lot of people, like in a sense that like some people seem like they have. Like I just feel like I'm just kind of like, sometimes I just feel like I'm just kind of everyone's like sort of like acquaintance or like their friend, but I'm never like anyone's like, I'm just like a familiar face to a lot of people. So that song, I really like the way that one hit. The Feelin', which is the next song I'm dropping and the next video I'm dropping, are like all some of my favorite lyrics I've ever wrote. Like that whole song just like is about this feeling that you get where I think in the second verse I say like I get the feeling that we're all just pawns and it's a game, and lately it's enough to drive me insane when I get the feeling. I get the feeling that it's not the same as it once was, so tell me, am I to blame or is it my fault? Because I get the feeling. It's just like that feeling of like,
that's cool,
crazy, like, I don't know, like impending doom, and I get it all the time, and I feel like somehow I perfectly worded it in that song to where it's like I listen to that and I like want to cry. I'm just like, this is it. Like I worded like exactly how I feel, and the song sounds awesome too. I'm just like, so I personally love that song and those lyrics a lot. As far as the lyrics that are out, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I was curious more or less of like kind of what you just said of just like, are there things where you're like, man, I wrote this and I feel this and this is like, I'm so stoked that I got this either out or that I created this, and like that, you pretty much hit it. Now everyone is excited for those songs.
Yes,
you know?
Yeah. I have I just want to see what time it is.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I have the song. God, I still can't even see. Jesus. Oh,
I'm gonna check the video too. Just make sure that's still going. Are we?
It's 10:11. So that's probably another like 10 or 15 minutes. But oh no! Oh no!
But it's okay because we'll just have the audio and I'll fix the video. What time do you want to stop? Like 10:30? Is that cool?
I think that's fine.
Okay, let me. The audio's still going, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, man, that sucks. I'm gonna let's see if I can get the video to at least finish the end part. Something told me like something's fucked up with the video part.
Why didn't you just use one of your cameras?
Because you can only shoot for 30 minutes.
Oh, word.
Oh, my iPhone storage is full.
Oh.
So it might have been going that whole time. It just hit at some point that my shit was full. So let me fix this real fast.
Let's go pot of it in the water.
Which I'm pretty impressed that it even made it this far, because I have hella, like, all the other interviews are on here too, so, like...
Oh, damn.
I'm surprised that it made it that far. Let's see, did any of this go? Oh, dude, it made it 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Oh my god,
what the fuck? How did I have absolutely no memory on this?
Damn.
That makes fucking no sense. I don't know what I did to fill this up so bad in the meantime, but...
at least have the audio.
Yeah, at least we have the audio. It's really not that big of a deal. I apologize that I kind of, like, fucked up the interview.
No, you're good.
But...
Hey, it's for your thing.
It's for my thing, exactly.
So it's all good, bro.
Cool. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, or is there?
What was I gonna say?
I guess the only thing I was maybe gonna go over additionally was like what could we expect next?
I
The
guess.
audio still going?
Yeah. I think so. Real quick, I just want to say on the topic of lyrics again, because we were talking about songs that were out that I do like. Aimless is probably one of my favorite hooks I've ever written, and that's just because it is like another one that kind of like resonates with like, and it sounds like it's not, and that's why it almost reminds me of like the kind of like Kendrick Lamar's like pour up drink, where it sounds like it's like a party song, but really like it's kind of not.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, Aimless is kind of like that because the lyrics are like, we got too faded, don't know where the day went, rolled it and faced it, the whole weekend wasted.
That's cool because I'm getting almost like I interpreted some of these, if not a lot of these, differently than how you're explaining it, and I love that like that there's multiple interpretations, but it's cool getting the actual like from the source like how you felt and
that was very much like, I think I was going through like a very like just partying all the time and kind of feeling like aimless, so it was rolled it and faced it the whole weekend wasted. Like, sometimes I wish that there was something I could do. Sometimes I don't think that I'll ever change. I know she hates it. She says that I'm aimless. No dreams I'm chasing. New day, still the same shit. Like, you know the way you live your life is killing you. Told her we're all just dying anyway. And I love those last two lines. I don't know why. I just feel like that's so much of just like how I feel about everything. Just like whatever, we're all just fucking dying. So at least that, like, at the time, that just made like so much like sense in my soul. I was like, now I feel like angsty and emo, like fucking like trying to explain the lyrics, but those meant a lot to me at the time. It just made a lot of sense to me. But anyways, as far as things to expect, I got this new video. I actually just submitted the single to DistroKid yesterday, so it's going to drop next Friday, April 9th. I'm still looking for a good channel for it, but if it doesn't work out, I'll just drop it on my own channel. I don't care. I'll figure it out. Yeah. But, so I got that video and song. It's called The Feelin', produced by King Theta and IOF. Video by New England Boy. It's going to be dropping next Friday. After that, hopefully the song with the special feature that you know. But I'm not going to announce yet. Yeah, secret, but you guys are going to be very excited. It's going to be sick. That one. And then I'm hoping to drop what we got soon, sometime too, like kind of in the next like couple drops. And then, I got like 3 or 4 more like straight up pop punk bangers with like Theta. I'm going to be dropping over the course of like summer. And,
just probably mostly singles. Are you working on any projects?
I was gonna do an EP. I was like really thinking about it, but because I have enough songs at this point where I could just put out like a whole like just straight up pop punk EP and just kind of like do that, but they're just so risky. It's so like hard. Like you'd think people will like support it a certain way, but then it always ends up like, I don't know. At least in my experiences so far with EPs, they haven't really like turned out the way I wanted them to. Mm-hmm. So I don't really even want to risk that with some of these songs. I just want to like put them out as like singles so they get like the most attention that they can.
And it's cool. People pay attention to the individual song.
Yes, exactly.
My brother and I used to laugh at 21 Pilots, and they'd be like, the new song from 21, like, it was on the album.
Yes.
Like, and Taylor Swift, the same thing. It's like, this was like track 6.
Yes.
If you're pushing track 9 this whole time, and it's not a new song if you listen to the album. Like,
yes. And I just feel like, in general, like, album rollouts and, like, EP rollouts work out a lot better if you're, like, a big established artist.
Right.
Like, for sure. Like, it just, your fans are going to be a lot more, like, receptive to it. Whereas, like, me, like, you know, not being, like, really like a huge artist or anything like that, people will like be stoked that I dropped an EP, like, oh shit, but they're only going to find maybe like 1 or 2 songs that they really like, and then the rest of the EP is going to get like ignored.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like, why would I do that when I can just keep dropping singles and make sure everyone listens like to each song? Like, a special song, you know.
And they're more special too. This is your one single, you know, song.
Yeah. So that's what I'm planning on, more singles this year. Hopefully more videos. Really, as soon as fucking shows can start again, I really want to hop back on like shows and trying to play like more out of state and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as I drop this video, man, I'm really trying to just hit the ground running and start like really just pedaling the sound that I got going now, and fucking, I say it like it's like a brand new sound. Really, it's just like the evolution of what I've been doing. But But yeah, that's pretty much it for the rest of the year. That's stuff like that. I think I'm going to go back to LA this summer. I think I might shoot another one with New England Boy. Me and my dude, Phoenicia.
My dude, Phoenicia.
Me and my dude, Phoenicia. We have like, I think a good at least like 3 unreleased songs right now, and they're all like bangers too. Me and Sapphire have like, I think 3 or 4 unreleased songs too that are all bangers. I think a lot of unreleased stuff gonna be dropping soon. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, I'm excited as well.
Yeah.
One last question. I'm just curious. This isn't a closing question, but I will, you know, in the interest of time, is an album something you would want to create in one collective thought at some point?
Yeah, 100%. I really would love to make an album. I think like that's like a goal of mine as like an artist. But at the same time, like, and eventually, you know, like eventually I might just do it anyway and just say fuck it. But I really would like my first album to be like something like genuinely really special that like has some, you know, like, obviously a lot of, like, time and energy was put into, because, like, well, I'm not gonna lie, with my other EPs I put out, it was basically just kind of, like, songs I wasn't sure what to do with, so I was just kind of like, let me just put them all on this EP and, like, throw them out there.
Yeah.
I feel like if I were to, like, actually make, like, my first, like, debut album, I would want it to be, like, something special and, like, cohesive, and, yeah, like, makes sense, has, like, a theme, like, really, like, I don't know, it's something special. I don't know. People, like, I have, like, some friends right now, it's just like, put out an album, do the album. It's just like, one, no one's gonna listen to that shit, dude. I'll put out, like, fucking 10 songs, you guys are gonna listen to, like, 2 of them. And, like, 2, I just don't think I'm ready for it right now. I don't think, I could probably put out a good EP right now if I really wanted to, but I feel like as far as, like, an album, like, maybe next year, maybe if, like, you know, things start, you know, really rolling like I hope they do, that, like, this time next year I'll be in more of a position to, like, I want to put out an album, but... Yeah, albums, it's a lot. It's a lot for us. Yeah,
I 100% agree. And not that I could see that people would only listen to, like, 2 songs, 3 songs, but I could, just in general, I feel like that's how most people would ingest music.
Yes, that's how it happens. So, eventually one day, but for now, you guys are going to keep getting these bangers.
Yes.
Single by single. Mm-hmm.
I dig it. Yeah. Any shout outs, any final thoughts, anything else we got to know about you?
Shouts out God and Jesus Christ. A lot of people forget about him. Good dude. Shouts out New England boy on this new video. Shouts out you.
Thank you.
Shouts out, I always just plug my dude Phoenicia. I think he's good. Been plugging him a lot.
Check out my dude Phoenicia.
He's been killing it too, honestly. I think he's got more listeners than me right now on Spotify. He's been doing he's been doing a great job. So he's killing it. Shouts out my girlfriend, shouts out my cats, shouts out love. Spread love in this world, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of hate, a lot of negative energy out there. We don't really we ain't on that side.
Not in this house, not in this area.
Yeah, we ain't doing that. Shouts out dance music. Go dance go dance, bro. You know what I'm saying? Dance that shit out. Yeah, man. Shouts out life.
Shouts out life.
More life.
Hey, excellent way to close it, man.
Yeah. This was fun. Thanks for having me. You're really